Hello, good morning, friends. In our previous lecture, we have discussed regarding the cytokines type, their effects or certain properties of cytokines and biological effects and significance in immunological aspects. Now we know that certain cytokines are secreted by T helper cell or T cell subsets. Some type of the cytokines may be secreted by macrophages, and the examples we have discussed already: interleukins, tumor necrosis factor, and interferons. Now we are studying one of the cytokine which is important, which is having antiviral action, that is interferon. So interferon, we are going to study here the nature or properties of interferons, types of interferons, mechanism of action of interferon, and induction of interferon. So actually interferons are glycoproteins. These are the proteins which are produced whenever there is a viral infection. So these are the antiviral proteins. But it is not necessary that always virus should infect the cell. Other types of the pathogen, whenever infecting the cell, then also interferon can be produced. So interferons are glycoproteins belonging to cytokine family, and mainly they are produced by fibroblasts, leukocytes, and lymphocytes. These are cytokines actually. The nature of interferon is glycoproteins, and they are basically antiviral in nature, generally produced by leukocyte, fibroblast, and lymphocytic cells. So these are, what are the properties of interferon? These interferon, they are antiviral. Antiviral protein in the sense they are produced whenever there is a virus stimulation. Whenever viral antigens stimulate the cell, against that interferons are produced. So they are antiviral in nature, but also production occurs in response to infection by other microbes. So whenever besides viruses, other microorganisms whenever infect the cell, then also there is a possibility of production of interferons. It is involved in regulation of immune system. Second property is that they are involved in regulation of immune system. They regulate the immunological response. They are antiviral, anti-cancerous, and they are multifunctional in nature. So anti-cancerous means what? Whenever there is a spreading of tumor cell, whenever there is a malignancy, this protein interferon, it exhibit anti-cancerous action. So it is responsible to inhibit to some extent the spreading of cancer cell. So they are antiviral, anti-cancerous, and multifunctional in nature. That means besides antiviral action, it also exhibit other types of the function. So interferons are antiviral, anti-cancerous, and multifunctional in nature. It also regulates the cell growth. It regulates immune response as well as it also regulates cell growth. Less virulent viruses cause large interferon production. Means what? Some viruses are more virulent, some viruses are less virulent. What is virulence? Degree of pathogenicity is virulence. Virulent power means how much the virus is pathogenic, how much the microbe is pathogenic. That is the degree of pathogenicity, means virulence. So it is observed that those viruses which are less virulent, means less pathogenic, they are producing large amount of interferon, and those viruses which are more virulent, they are producing less amount of interferon. It is because more virulent viruses inhibit cellular synthesis before the beginning of interferon synthesis. Actually interferon is a glycoprotein. So before the interferon synthesis start, this viruses, virulent viruses, they are inhibiting the cell synthesis, cellular synthesis, and therefore more virulent viruses produce less amount of interferon. and less virulent viruses, they are producing more type or more amount of interferon. Actually, now we are going to study here three types of interferon. There are three types of interferon: type 1, type 2 and type 3. It is classified into different types depending upon the producer, depending upon the cell which produces it, and depending upon the reaction, you can say. The interferon types have been divided into three: type 1, type 2, type 3. So type 1 interferon type includes alpha interferon and interferon beta. So alpha and beta, these are the two types of interferon which are included in type 1. So type 1 includes alpha and beta interferon, which are produced in direct response to viral infection. They are produced in direct response to viral infection, means whenever there is infection to the cell by virus, so against that virus either alpha interferon or beta interferon, these are produced. So the production of this interferon is in a direct response to virus stimulation. Alpha interferon also has different subtypes. So totally there will be 13 subtypes of alpha interferon. So alpha interferon has 13 subtypes or subgroups, you can say. Beta interferon is synthesized by most of the cells in the body, but mainly by fibroblast. Fibroblastic cell or fibroblast secrete beta interferon type, and it has also three subtypes, that is interferon B1, interferon B2, interferon B3. Here I used abbreviation IFN. IFN stands for interferon. So beta interferon have three subtypes. IFN means interferon B1, IFN B2 and IFN B3, or beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. You may call it as per this abbreviation also. Interferon alpha and beta possess broad and non-specific antiviral activity. What is broad activity? Broad spectrum activity means what? This alpha and beta interferon can act or can exhibit antiviral action against any type of the virus. So it is not necessary that particular virus should infect the cell, then only alpha interferon can act, or then only beta interferon can act. This is not the case. Alpha and beta interferon can act on any type of the virus. So that is a non-specific. And broad spectrum means they are exhibiting the antiviral action against wide variety of viruses. Means they are effective against wide variety of viruses. The viruses may be Tuga virus, adenovirus, whatever it may be. So against these viruses, alpha and beta interferon can act. So it is not necessary that particular virus should infect the cell, then only alpha interferon can act, or particular virus should infect the cell, then only beta interferon can act. This is not the case. Alpha and beta interferon can act on any type of the virus, or they exhibit the antiviral action against any type of the virus. So you can say that the interferon alpha and beta has broad spectrum activity as well as non-specific activity, non-specific antiviral activity. So what we discuss here, type 1, type 2, type 3, three types of the interferon. Type 1 include alpha and beta. Alpha and beta possess broad spectrum activity and they are non-specific with their action. They exhibit non-specific antiviral activity. Actually, beta interferon are of three types: IF1 beta 1, IFN or interferon beta 1, interferon beta 2, interferon beta 3. And alpha interferon has 13 subtypes. Okay. Now, type 2 and type 3 interferon. So type 2 interferon includes gamma interferon. There are three major types of the interferon: alpha, beta, gamma. Lambda is also there. Alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha and beta included in type 1. gamma interferon included in type 2, okay, which are not directly produced in response to viral infection, but its production is stimulated by T lymphocytes and natural killer cell. Alpha and beta interferon are produced direct response to viral infection, but this is not evident in gamma interferon. So gamma interferon does not directly produced in response to viral infection, but their production is observed whenever the T lymphocytes or natural killer cell stimulate the cell. So the production of gamma interferon is stimulated by natural killer cell or T lymphocytic cells. Then the second characteristics of this gamma interferon is that it is a dimer of GR1 interferon and GR2 interferon. So you can say G for gamma, you can say GR1, GR2. These are the two types, subtypes of gamma, and gamma interferon is a dimer. Dimer means it is composed of two monomeric units. Which are those two monomeric units? GR1, GR2. IFN means interferon. IFN is the abbreviation used. Interferon GR1, interferon GR2. So these two monomers combine to form the dimer of gamma interferon. And type 3 interferon includes lambda interferon. Type 1 includes alpha and beta. Type 2 includes gamma, and type 3 includes lambda interferon. So it consists interleukins 28 and 29 known as interferon lambda 1 and lambda 2 respectively. So in lambda type of the interferon, what are their subtypes? Interleukin 28, 29. So actually 28, 29 can be denoted as lambda 1 interferon and lambda 2 interferon respectively. So this is regarding the types of interferon. In next lecture we will discuss their some properties and induction of interferon in detail. Thank you.